Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotirnamostute Deepajyotirnamostute Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampadah.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's session. We have seen in the video that the more the meat products we are consuming, the more we are destroying the nature and planet, and also the ecosystems, biodiversities, and it is also causing to extinction of various species. So the sooner we realize and the sooner we turn to vegetarian or vegan, there is no way to control the climate change and as well as to reduce the global gas emissions and also to combat climate change and rising temperatures. These are going to create a lot of impact on the human life, and as many we have seen, more than 2 lakh species have almost become extinct and more than 1,50,000 species are in endangered list, and that too the list is very much limited to only the species we have discovered, and there are a lot of other species which we don't know, which are yet to be discovered and which have not been discovered. So these species might have gone extinct long back, or maybe in the process of extinction, or have already become endangered without even our notice or without our understanding. So what we are doing, the 2 videos which we have watched has clearly said what is ahead. The ahead is human extinction. So whether we are doing something about it or we are still struggling to feed our greed, more and more consumption of meat and meat products are definitely going to create a lot of impact, and there is soon in the coming years the cannibalism is also going to be evident, where man is going to eat man. That is, humans are going to eat humans to survive, because there will be no edible plants or trees or animals left on the planet. Because Already we have crossed 8 billion population. Today, our population has crossed 800 crores, and India is the largest populated country in the world, surpassing China. And there is no end to it. No, population is growing and growing at a vast rate. Even if we look at the statistics also, the belief systems that promote non-vegetarianism or meat products are also growing at a rapid rate. We see the highest, when we look at the population statistics, the highest population belongs to Christianity that widely promotes liquor and meat. So more and more meat consumption and meat products consumption. So the more sooner we are going to destroy ourselves, our planet, our earth, our biodiversity, our ecosystem. And next, if we look at the next highest population on the planet that belongs to another belief system, that is Islam, that is, Muslim population. And they also widely promote eating of meat products. That is also again aggravating. So, and when we look at the third highest population on the planet after Christians and Muslims, it comes to Hindus. In Hindus, they are also partly promoting this vegetarian and also following non-vegetarian. And there are some vegetarians and there are a combination of vegetarians and non-vegetarians. So this is also creating a huge impact on the diversity, biodiversity, ecosystem, and health of the planet. We all are entirely dependent on our nature, environment, and planet. We cannot live in isolation. So we need to take action so that we can preserve our environment and reduce meat consumption and reduce animal farming. Otherwise, soon, in the past 200 to 300 years, our destruction for the planet has been laid foundation. And in next 100 years, we are going to completely destroy ourselves along with our nature and planet. And then the nature, the earth, the environment will take control and take hold of its, control and regeneration after, human extinction. So what we are doing now, whether we are having sustainable development practices, whatever we are doing is everything for human beings and not for anyone else. No other species, if we have the countable species, as far as we know, we have 8.4 billion species. And except human being, which is just only one of 8.4 billion species, only need this development. Just imagine, for the sake of one species on the planet, entire 8.4 billion species are put into danger. Now they are put into extinction. So how rational it is, what kind of activities we are taking up. Can we justify our activities? Can we justify our developmental activities which are going on, which are taking place? And how we are going to combat, how we are going to go ahead. Either we already have reached to a point where restoration is highly impossible. And with more and more meat consumption, more and more animal farming, It's nearly impossible. And if we don't change our habits, definitely we are going to see the days. Our abuse, misuse of our science and technology for our greeds have put the entire planet into the verge of destruction. And also, not just human beings, but all the living beings and non-living beings on the planet towards destruction. So it's a high time we realize that we need to change ourselves. Otherwise, even God also cannot save us. Because in the name of God also, we are abusing the God. And in the name of rituals, in the name of our, celebrations, in the name of feasts, we are killing more and more animals and consuming more and more animals and promoting more animal farming. That is, we are going to pay for the sins we are committed, and no God will come forward to forgive the sins which we have committed. So it's a high time we realize that we need to act now. It's now or never. As today we are commemorating independence from Meat Day across the world on July 4th. As you have already noticed, more and more people across the world are choosing vegetarian and vegan lifestyles. This is because both lifestyles promise increased health benefits by limiting meat from our diets. There are few more moral and environmental implications of these lifestyles too. Even if you do not want to give up eating meat, you could observe independence from meat day, week, or month, or fortnight as an opportunity to enjoy a different kind of diet. Give your plate a do-over and find out what life is like for vegans and vegetarians, and not just for vegans and vegetarians, but for the entire planet. The Vegetarian Awareness Network founded independence from meat, then Knoxville, Tennessee. The reason why Independence from Meat Day is commemorated on July 4th is that it is also one of the most popular days in the world for grilling meat outside. Chicken, lamb, pork, beef, all kinds of meats are grilled and barbecued to celebrate American Independence Day. However, staunch vegans and vegetarians believe that eating meat does more harm than good, and that is also scientifically proved. And even the two documentaries we have watched clearly states that the research says and is very much evident that it is going to destroy not only the species but also the planet and human beings. And while science does not agree with this line of thought, it is true that eating fried and grilled meat regularly can be bad for health, because this is promoted by industry. Industry wants to make money. Industry wants to you to be fall ill, and industry wants you to approach hospitals so that they want you to be obese. They want you to be overweight. They want you to be potato couches so that you fall ill. And medical and health industry is a huge profit-making industry today. And many times we have seen that your hard-earned savings will go into treating those things. So what industry wants, it wants maximization of profit, even at the cost of your health and well-being. So it is you, the ultimate, is the one to choose what kind of lifestyle, what kind of food system you are going to follow and adapt. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you are the one who are going to land up in the hospital for various diseases. Today, lifestyle diseases like cancer, diabetes, hypertension, when cardiac issues, arrest, like strokes, all these are because of our lifestyles, because of the food we consume. We are what we eat, we are what we think, we are what we do. So that is impacting our health and well-being. And it also does more harm than good. That is terrible for our health and the environment. The fact that consumption and harvesting of meat are bad for the environment is a well-known fact. We have seen various researchers also emphasizing on that. Think about sheer amount of water used in the production of commercial meat and animal products and the kind of pollution that it creates and lot of hygiene issues that it is creating. Added to that, it is the amount of land needed to house all these animals and land required to feed all these animals, which are used to consume, to be consumed as meat, again as a food. So scientists have already successfully proven that the cattle flatulence accounts for more greenhouse gas emissions than every car in the world combined, because of this animal farming, because of rearing animals for the purpose of food to get meat and meat products. We are contributing to the greatest greenhouse gas emissions. And moreover, certain preparations of meat can be bad for our health. The char that forms on the meat when it is grilled has a significantly higher rate of carcinogens in that meat prepared in any other. So we are consuming more and more meat and meat products that are grilled. So these are highly carcinogenic. That means by consuming more and more such grilled meat and oven meat, we are more vulnerable to getting cancer. That's why we see now every household has a cancer history. Every household has a diabetic history. Every household has a cardiac stroke history. Every family has various such lifestyle disorders. So how to control, how to prevent them is only to adopt a vegan lifestyle and also to have a lifestyle that is more contributing to our health and well-being, not just to our health and well-being, but also to the entire planet. Moreover, when we fry meat, the large amount of fat consumption that can be especially bad for our hearts, negatively affecting our cholesterol and blood pressure levels. So vegetarians appear to have low-density lipoprotein cholesterol levels, lower blood pressure, and lower rates of hypertension and type 2 diabetes than meat eaters. Vegetarian diets and more stringent vegan plans can lead to the stroke risk, harm to the brain health, hair loss, and depression. Vegetarians only avoid meat, while vegans avoid all animal products, including dairy products and eggs. Vegans may be more susceptible to nutritional deficiency in iron, vitamin D, calcium, and protein. But now we have various alternatives and plant-based proteins that meets the nutritional requirements. So now there is no such deficiency. And there is no better way to observe independence from meat day than by going vegetarian. Quit meat for a day, for a week, for a fortnight, for a month, or for a year, and make sure to eat only plant-based products. Who knows, it might even convince you to make a permanent switch. Just experience by yourself. Everyone you know is grilling meat today. Just because you choose to be vegetarian for one day doesn't mean you can't have grilled food. Celebrate independence from meat day by grilling your favorite vegetables. Take independence from meat day a step further by eating vegan food only. This means no meat and no meat products, no dairy as well. Try nut-based milk, greens, and fruits. It sure would be an interesting experience. Vegetarianism improves metabolism. It can improve metabolism function by 16%. And being vegan can feed more people. 20,000 pounds of potatoes can grow on 1 acre of land. And India has most vegetation. 90% of all vegetarians in the world are from India. So in that way also we are contributing a lot to the nature and environment. And it has ample sources of protein. Greens and pulses are good sources of protein, plant-based protein. And especially colon and prostate cancer can be prevented by having more plant-based diets and avoiding meat diets. And you can save up to $600 a year by eating vegetarian food and completely cutting meat from your diet. If you have been looking to cut expenditure, Independence from Meat Day shows you how to go about it. Eating meat contributes to water and land shortage and significant increases in greenhouse gases. A great way to do is do your bit for your environment by pledging to go off meat on this Independence from Meat Day. And removing meat and animal-based products could do wonders for your health and the planet. Consult your doctor on Independence from Meat Day to find out alternatives for meat which should suit you the best. Today we are also commemorating Jackfruit Day, which is celebrated in India. The tropical fruit is the national fruit of Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, along with being the state fruit of Tamil Nadu and Kerala in India. The fruit has spiky outer skin and is native to the parts of South and Southeast Asia. Today, the fruit is known as popular meat substitute for people adhering to plant-based diets. It is also high in vitamins. It is also high in vitamins and antioxidants, making it a healthy addition to any diet. Jackfruits are also referred to as jack, katal, and chekka, among other names. Humans have been consuming jackfruits for millennia. Though no one is completely certain where the fruit came from, it is believed to be indigenous to the Western Ghats of India. The jack tree, an evergreen tree, thrives in hot weather and moist tropical climates. The fruit is majorly produced within Asia, though attempts were made to grow the fruit in Hawaii before 1888. The word jackfruit is derived from the Portuguese jacka and in turn from Malayalam word chekka. Portuguese naturalist and scholar Garcia da Horta used the English term jackfruit in a book he wrote in 1560. As a result of colonialism, the jackfruit has been made its rounds across the globe. It's now grown in several countries that used to be colonies of European empires. The fruit thus is used in cuisines across the world in several different forms. Jackfruit can be found in jams, pickles, ice creams, desserts, and all other types of meal preparations. Recently, the global north has begun consuming jackfruit as a meat substitute due to its meat-like texture when cooked. The fruit has several varieties, each one to fit deliver a unique gastronomic experience. Ripened jackfruits are said to have pungent odor that may be intimidating at first, which is probably why many people purchase unripened jackfruits to avoid the taste of the fruit is often described as mellow. Jackfruit Day was established by jackfruitday.com in 2016 to raise awareness about the fruit and its versatility. So it is also called a variety of names in India depending on the language, including Kathal, Hindi, Kotal, Assamese, Chekka, Malayali, Panas, Marathi, Punas, Konkani, Halasa, Kannadiga, and Palasa in Telugu. Panruti in Tamil Nadu, India is a famous destination for the lovers of jackfruit. Unripe jackfruit is used as meat substitute because of its unripened nature, the fruit is tasteless on its own and takes the flavor of its seasoning. Jackfruit is enjoyed across the globe raw. This fruit day, why not give the fruit a try? Jackfruit can be cooked in a variety of ways. If you are so inclined, cook something with jackfruit in it, be it savory or sweet. If neither cooking nor eating the fruit raw is cup of your tea, try to find an eatery around you, just uses jackfruit as an ingredient and taste something new. So the largest fruit grown on a tree is jackfruit. The bark of the jackfruit tree is used to dye the robes of Buddhist monks orange, which is a natural dye. And the jackfruit tree belongs to the mulberry family. It's part of mulberry family. And a mature jackfruit tree can yield between 100 to 200 fruits a year. The lifespan of a jackfruit tree is 60 to 70 years, and they have a long lifespan. Jackfruits have been part of cuisines across the globe. We fully support the celebration of such a versatile and nutritious food source. So the fruit is a well-liked meat substitute. Jackfruit Day may potentially introduce the fruit to people looking for a sustainable meat substitute. Jackfruit is a delightful gastronomic experience. This day is a perfect excuse to try out the fruit for the first time. Today is also commemorated as National Farriers Week, starting from today, July 4th to 10th, and is a chance for horse owners, riders, trainers, admirers to appreciate and celebrate these experts who ensure that every horse hoof is cared for the farriers. If you never heard the term before, don't worry. You will leave here and more knowledge than you come in. A farrier is basically a person who practices the art of shoeing horses. The word farrier itself comes from the French ferrier, which means blacksmith. This in turn is a word derived from Latin ferrum, which means iron, hence the symbol Fe for iron in the periodic table, and was apt for blacksmith who mainly worked with iron. Farriers of old would make horseshoes and also horseshoes. Therefore, no one would know the workings of horse legs better than the farrier, and no better person to ensure that horse receives the best care. This alone is worthy of appreciation. Horse hooves are made out of keratin, the same stuff of our hair and nails are made of, and are incredibly tough. Even though horses are nailed to the hoof of a horse, it is completely painless process since the hooves do not contain any virus, any nerve endings at all. In the same way, the shoes protect our feet from harm. Horses' feet needed protection from their carriages during warfare as well as from wear and tear, and through rough terrain would cause them. People used to glue horseshoes over their doorways in the belief that it would bring them luck. Since ancient times, the number 7 has been held in significance. Hence, horseshoes must always have 7 nail holes. Horseshoes made of aluminum are proven to help horses run faster. Horseshoes are hung between the bed to ward off nightmares in some cultures. It was believed that the blacksmith held magical powers, so to be married by one was good luck. Today we are also commemorating as National Hilly Day that recognizes Hilly culture and celebrates the traditions and lifestyle of those that reside in the rural areas of southern United States. Hillbillies have a reputation for living a very different life than those who live in urban and suburban areas. So the term hillbilly or hillbilly was often used to refer the community who lived in the Appalachian Mountains at Kentucky and West Virginia. Hillbillies are often described as a simple country folk who live in rural, remote areas of South and are often out of touch with modern society. Hillbillies are also known for their love of moonshine, a homemade liquor so named because it was originally illegal, and the only way to avoid getting caught that was to make it a night time. The stereotypical hillbilly also has a kinship with nature and animals. Today is also commemorated as Invisible Day in the US. There are days when we feel left out or invisible, while there are also days we want to feel that way. Invisible Day makes us wonder what we would do if we are invisible. So Invisible Day is also an acknowledgement of mental health issues. The celebrations understand that it is okay to feel down every once in a while in the world. We are constantly connected to work, family, hyperconnectivity also makes us feel lonely. People also feel anxious when they are required to constantly be in touch with others. Invisible Day is an encouragement to take off your schedule and have some time alone. So when we hear invisible, we know that human beings cannot actually become invisible. However, the closest experience of invisibility that we can have is with the invisible ink. Invisible ink, also known as security link and sympathetic link, when used for writing, does not let text appear on paper. It can be later made by visible by other means. Apart from that, we have many other commemorations, like today is also Alice in the Wonderland Day. We know this famous arts and entertainment show in television. And today is also Caribbean Community Day, Filipino American Friendship Day. With this, we shall conclude today's session. And we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form and see you all tomorrow. Feedback form has been raised in the form of polls in Zoom. We request everyone to fill the attendance.